Here are the top 10 things why Hollywood, Florida lifestyle is different than other cities in South Florida. So here we are talking about the Hollywood, Florida, not the Hollywood, California. So of course the name does give some feel about, the Hollywood, California. However, it's completely different than California. So let's start with the number one thing. If you are a fan of casinos, gambling, then Hollywood is a city. So just follow the flashlights, and especially Guitar Hotel is one of the famous sites to visit, no matter you live in Hollywood or you don't live in Hollywood, because that's just amazing, even just to see from, the highway. Like whenever you pass through the 95 and you pass the Hollywood, that's a sign of Hollywood, because the Guitar Hotel is one of the hotels or one of the the monument you will ever miss if you pass Hollywood. And if you're living in Hollywood and you love gambling, then that's a spot you will visit frequently. Guitar Hotel is part of the Hard Rock Cafe Casino, and that's one of the oldest casino you will find in South Florida. That casino now they have built up with the resort, and that's the hotel, Guitar Hotel, and one of the very unique monument or unique resort you will ever see in South Florida. Especially in the night, check out their night shows. It's really fantastic, and even inside if you visit, that gives a really different feeling. I would say my personal feeling when I went in, it looks like mini Las Vegas, one of the hotel, but yeah, it does give you the feel of casino and just some to-go lifestyle kind of. And you will not even see just the young people there. A lot of senior citizens enjoy there. They do organize some of the games from the casino. They do have a non-smoking spots and the smoking spots, and so it's kind of very contemporary style casino. And the resort is completely different, which is a Guitar Hotel, and resort also has a beautiful pool, beautiful scenarios there, like nature scenery. So it's one of the resort. If you love casino, then you should stay there. Number two, if you love beach, then Hollywood is the city, because the Hollywood is actually on the beach, is one of the beach town. However, Hollywood is part of the suburb too. So it's very huge in diameter. That's why it's kind of divided on east and west side of the Hollywood. East side of the Hollywood is more like a beach style. So you will find a lot of condo buildings there. That's why the inventory there is pretty good, and the pricing is pretty competitive. If you want to find something around 400 or 500,000, that's also very possible to find in Hollywood. Depends on how many bedrooms, how many square feet, and of course the view. But it's a possibility of getting something on the beach. And if you want to live in single family houses on the west side, that's also possible in Hollywood. So Hollywood has all kind of varieties of lifestyle you can achieve. However, number three I'm going to mention is you're going to, no matter what, where you live in Hollywood, you're going to spend a lot of time on 95, because 95 is the main highway falls around the Hollywood, and the 95 is always busy. And Hollywood is close to Miami, so a lot of people not living in Miami, instead of that they prefer to live in Hollywood, because Hollywood is less crowded than Miami. Of course, now things are changing. A lot of people are moving to Hollywood, but still the comparatively it will take a lot of time to become like Miami. So still Hollywood is one of the favorite. A lot of people are moving there just because it's less crowded than Miami. At the same time, you do have a beach lifestyle. Pricing is a little bit competitive, little like the affordable ranges are there compared to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, and a lot of choices of condos. So if you are a beach lover, or you want to retire somewhere in Florida and you want to buy a beach condo, then Hollywood could be one of your choice. Number three, if you're talking about the beach condos, keeping this in mind, Hollywood beach condos are variety, because those were started building around 1960. So you may see some old buildings which would have a better pricing, and you would find some new buildings too. So it depends on the building and depends on the view of the pricing, because a lot of times when I talk about on my video about the beach condos, and a lot of you have contacted me asking for, okay, I want to buy something around 300,000, 350,000. in Hollywood. Definitely it's possible. I'm not saying not, but you do have to compromise the year built, or you may have to compromise the upgrades and the how inside building, because all the pricing not just depends on the location but also the building itself, because Hollywood has a lot of varieties. It's not very brand new town. It is one of the oldest town you will find in South Florida, and a lot of new developments also coming here, and that's why the Hollywood is still one of the eyesight for the new developer, the builders, and they love to invest in Hollywood. One of the main reason is the Hollywood Broadwalk. That's 2.5 mile around that range, and people love enjoying on the Hollywood Broadwalk. There are a couple of hotels there. You would find the surfing activities or biking activities. A lot of people love to skate, even though it's not allowed there, but yeah, you will find the kids playing around with the skateboards. There are a lot of events happens on the beach Broadwalk, like every Sunday on Saturday, I believe, around 7 o'clock. If you go, you would find the local bands performing, and it looks like more like events, not just if you're visiting Broadwalk, it will give you the feel of events, basically. There are a lot of good, the things to do you may find in Hollywood. It's more like a lot of different parks are there. If you want to have some quieter time, so there are like nature parks, and it's one of my favorite there. I try to go there for meditation. I have one video shoot in that park itself. It's one of my favorite because it's not on a beach, but it does give a forest feel. If you love a little bit of small hiking, you can do that. If you love doing meditation or sit quietly, think quietly, read quietly, or write quietly, that could be one of the place. Otherwise, a lot of other parks are very busy with the kids, and if they are close to beach, and then people love to park there and go to the beach, so those parks are much busier than this particular park, and it does reserve the nature, so that's why it's give the more like a forest feel. So there are some hotels I went across there, so it's more like a bay view you would find in that park. I'll put the names here. If you're living here and never visited, make sure you visit there, and if you visited, comment me below, give your opinion, so the other people would love to hear from you. How is the lifestyle, or how are the things you will find in Hollywood? So my next point is, if you're a lover of art, then Hollywood, Florida could be one of the city you will love it. There is an art young center in Hollywood downtown. It's one of the very famous because they organize a lot of events for the kids or even for adults. If you go on Monday, there is a food truck invasion, and that's something I didn't know before, and it's kind of very nice, like a festive feels you can get. A lot of time before COVID, they were organizing a lot of events outside and inside of the auditorium. Now they have almost resumed since 6 months doing those events multiple times. So it's getting to the normal phase, and there are a lot of new developments are coming in that area. So if you are not fan of living on a beach and you want to live like a little bit of the city feel, and want to have things to do nearby where you don't have to drive around a lot, then Hollywood downtown could be the good choice. And there are good developments are coming here, and I'm going to make another separate video just for the new developments. If you are living in downtown, comment below, because that's a lot of people has a different perspective of living in downtown, so that could help future residents if you want to give some opinion on this channel. And if you want to learn more in detail about living in downtown, let me know in a comment section. I will try to make another video about just for that and try to find some neighborhoods around the downtown area. So talking about the arts, you will find a lot of art shows. The people are very active in Hollywood, very active. You may find, to-go kind of personalities. Even though a lot of senior citizens, they feel like they're retiring, they come to retire, but these senior citizens are not just for the retirement and just sit quietly and watch, what other people does, but people participates, and that's the beauty of Hollywood. You would find a lot of people around, either on a beach or, for example, this art center. It's pretty much very busy place to visit. visit. If you enjoy organic food, if you enjoy organic honey, or if you enjoy organic fruits and vegetables, make sure you visit the farmers markets what the Hollywood offers, especially the yellow green market. That's one of the biggest farmers market you will find around, and that's something, it looks like again the festive market rather than just the shopping for fruits and vegetables. A lot of people, like business owners, do participate, make their own stores, with their unique items to sell, and that's one of the, could be the opportunity for you if you are one, who love arts or who has some unique things to offer to the audience. That could be one of the place to start with, and that happens every week, sometimes multiple days a week also, and it's basically, it's amazing, and it's not just the yellow green, there are a lot of different farmers market also here. So if you are a local business owner, that could be the really good spot to market yourself. Now my next point is, my favorite one is the schools. I am a mom, and for me the schools are very, very important than anything else. Hollywood, I still put in a category where you would find the good schools. See, for example, in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, if you live on the east side, it's very difficult to find the good schools, and you may have to put them in a private schools. That's why family with the kids, it's not very suitable towns. You may love living the lifestyle there, but not with the kids. If you care about the education, and if you care about the culture, if you care about the environment. In Hollywood, you do have a west side of the Hollywood, which still feels like a suburb, and it does have a good school ratings. Not every school is amazing, not in every zip code, but it does have the options to start with. And it's one of the famous, now the school ratings a little bit got affected, but one of the famous town before people were moving just for the schools, and that's why their prices is still like at the good number. So it's competitive to the Davie or even Weston, the prices of the suburb, and that's because they're having the good culture. Still, if you find the people living there since 20 years, 25 years, and they feel so safe to live in those neighborhoods. A lot of neighborhoods have no HOA also, very safe, even non-gated neighborhoods, but you can rely living there. You would have the very friendly neighbors there, someone living for a long time, help each other kind of environment. It's pretty good. A lot of people will have their own opinions, of course, but overall, I still put in the category where you will find the safe neighborhoods to live in. West side, if you are concerned for the kids, for the culture or something. Very limited neighborhoods, however, so you may have to find the perfect person who knows the market. If you are trying to move there or buy something or want to live in rental, then you may have to do a little bit more research than looking, just flashy things what the Hollywood offers. If you are one of them who's watching my video and you would live in suburb, I would love to hear from you guys. Again, your opinion matters on our channel, because that will help my other, the buyers or future residents who would get some insight from your opinions too, not just coming from me. Now, my last thing to offer you in this video is the weather. Of course, South Florida weather is one of the very nicest weather you can find. Do not underestimate the hot season here. It's very hot, I'll be honest. However, of course, you're not going to go on the road a whole day. People love sitting in a beach, even on a weekdays, like in afternoon time, with the tent and, with some precaution from the sun. However, the main good part here is, even though it's hot or humid, the breeze is amazing. Even though, let's say you live in central part of Hollywood or west side, you still get that feel of, you're living on a beach town. And living in Hollywood gives the freedom to go to the beach very, very fast. You won't be stuck on the highways, and you won't feel bored to go to there. Because say, for example, I live in Coral Springs. Still, it takes me 20 to 30 minutes to go to the Hollywood beach. Depends on the traffic. Sometimes you feel, I don't want to go. But if you're living in that town, you may have that, the second thought to go there. So, and the weather, I was talking about the weather, basically. Weather is really fantastic, especially the time of September to, I would say, February, March. Just the 3 months, April, May, June, it's kind of a little bit crazy. In July, once the rain starts, then things getting settled. So that's not too hot. Honestly, I'll give my honest opinion. A lot of people talks about the hotness of South Florida. People don't love, this humid weather. Just recently, I visited South Carolina, and oh my God, there, it was crazy. And plus, the breeze is very, very, hot. I almost got a cold. You see my voice is, of course, like just because I was cold from the hot because we were whole day outside. In here, even though it's sunny, it's really hot sun, but the breeze is not hot because it's kind of the little moisture is there in the air, so it doesn't make you feel sick, or even though you spend some time outside. Of course, it drains your energy if you're whole day outside, but if you're living here, then you may not be spending whole time outside. Mostly people come out after 4 or 5 o'clock. The day ends very late here, like around 8:30. So if you go in a broad walk, people or even on a weekdays, it's so busy after 5, and people stay until 9 o'clock. The beaches are very open for everybody, so that's kind of good part here, even the weather is too hot. So there are so many other things I want to talk about the Hollywood, but I'm going to make my another video for this. So I will see you in my next video.